ओम शांति। गुड इवनिंग।
मैं आत्मिक स्वरूप में अपने आप को बार बार विजुअलाइज नहीं करूंगी ना।
ओम शांति। ओम
शांति
शांति।
शांति। गुड इवनिंग।
ओम शांति।
ओम शांति।
ओम शांति।
शांति। Hope everyone is doing well. Today we thought to explore the topic of concentration. Signs of concentration. Right, in Sunday's message, the Murli, the keyword was, what was the keyword? Ek vrata, right, which means committed to the one. And when we are committed to the one, then our thoughts are actually also aligned to the one, focused or concentrated. So what is concentration and how to increase concentration? We all have experienced the state of mind, how we feel when the mind is fully concentrated on something versus when the mind is, what is the opposite of concentration? Disturbed, right? Or there's a lot of distraction. Sometimes we will say, no, distraction. So the mind will go here, there, everywhere. We're trying to focus the mind on something, right? And in our case, we are trying to focus the mind on the self as a soul and on the supreme, right, as a point of light. And in that, the mind will also get distracted here and there. So the thought was today to, try and explore at a deeper level, what are some of the factors that help us in concentration, and what are some of the factors that don't allow us to concentrate better, and how we can get rid of those factors. So let's begin. One word that goes with concentration is the word focus. Focus. We all know when, like for example, when the lens, the spectacles that we wear, it is not focused, then what happens to the vision? It becomes it becomes blurred, right? So we all want to focus. So let's try and understand what is focus. So it says follow one course until successful. Follow one course until successful. So that's focus. I'm focused. Right? So I'm not changing my direction of thought. I'm completely focused. Right? And only when there is focus will there be a transformation. Generally the example that we give, and we have all heard about this example, is if we have a paper and we put it under the sun, a very hot sun in the afternoon, will it burn? Will it catch fire? No. Or no? It won't, right? What do we have to do in order for it to burn? Okay. Lens. Yeah, we have to use a lens, right? Lens रखेंगे तो जो sun की light है, it will focus on one point. And when it focuses on one point, it is only then that, because of the heat that is, getting concentrated at that point, then the temperature of it will rise and eventually it will start to burn. And once it burns, it changes its form. So the paper becomes like an ash. So you can convert a paper into ash, but can we convert an ash back into a paper? है ना, पेपर को राख बना सकते हैं, पर राख से पेपर नहीं बना सकते हैं, right? So one is focus, the other is concentration. There's a slight difference, right? Focus is, I have now focused, but then to retain that focus for a long period of time, that is concentration, right? So वो जो लेंस है, जो उसको भी बहुत समय तक, if we keep on focusing, right, which means actually concentration, only then the paper gets burned, right? So in the same way in meditation, one is to focus. Okay, my thoughts are, now I'm zooming out of everything else. I'm zooming into the reality, the truth. But then when I hold on to that focus for a long period of time, that is concentration, it's only then that what is the paper that will get burned then? What is the inner paper that needs to be burned? Our old, right? Our old weaknesses, our body conscious and scars, all those get burned. So for that, we need focus and concentration, right? Focus and concentration. So for focus, we also need, right, to just follow. You need patience also. You need to follow, keep on following, not to let go. Keep on following, keep on following. Also with interest, with interest. अच्छा,
one course करना है संस्कारों को परिवर्तन करना है.
follow one course. It's like I keep on following it until I reach, right? And so generally what happens is, when we focus, there is always some noise, right? There is always some noise. And what this quote says is, stay focused on your goals and ignore the noise. Right? For example, if I have to drive to a certain place, I have taken the highway, and on the way, suppose I need to use the rest area. I stop there. But how long will I stop there?
As far as it is optimally required.
Yeah, as much as needed, right? As soon as I'm done, I'll say, okay, let's move on. What if the rest area is beautiful? I'll say, okay, let us have a picnic, right? Let us enjoy food. What if it is very beautiful that let me build a house here, right? Let me just stay here because it is so beautiful. Then what happens to the goal, to the destination? What happens to the destination? I'll completely lose track of it, isn't it? And that's why, even on the path of meditation, that's why Baba will always remind us, what is our aim and objective? What is our aim and objective? Why? Because it's very easy to lose focus from that. And once I lose focus, I may be busy doing a lot of things, but it may not be directly connected to the goal. Right? Suppose I have an examination tomorrow, right? And I am studying a subject which will not come in the examination. My examination is of science and I'm studying English. Is it good or not? Not good. Good or not good? Will I pass in the examination?
Even not good, it is dangerous.
Dangerous. Okay. So now all of us have the examination coming up, right? The final examination. What is the final examination?
Go back.
Going back home, right? The final examination actually is how much we have, passed in the subject of, out of 4 subjects, what is the most important subject? In spiritual life, what is the most important subject? Yes.
Dharna.
Dharana, yes, and
Yeah.
Yog, right? We have 4 subjects, right? Gyan, Yog, Dharana, Seva. Out of these, the most important is Yog. Yad. Dharana also comes because, once we have good remembrance, but actually it is remembrance, right? And if I'm focusing on everything else but remembrance, but intensifying my, because Baba will say time is limited. In this limited time, we have to make effort, right? We are very clear. Effort is also to transform our sanskars. That will also happen through yoga. And that also through intense yoga, isn't it? And so once I have that, we all have heard the story of Arjun, right? What is the story of Arjun? Who will say? Haan. Lakshya. So, Dronacharya, right? He asked all his brothers, what do you see? They were all given the task of hitting the eye of the bird, right? And so everyone said, oh, I'm looking at the tree. I can see the tree. I can see the branch. I can see the sky, everything. But when they asked Arjun, what do you see? What did he say?
एक्चुअली जिसका लक्ष्य निर्धारित है वही ज्यादा उसको कहेंगे अर्जुन
Right.
लक्ष्य निर्धारित हो गया
So he said, I'm only looking at the eye, and not only the eye, but the center of the eye where I have to hit. Point. So that's like focused on the goal. Focused on the goal. Welcome. Bye. Hey, welcome, Maiji. Om Shanti. So good to have you. Welcome. Om Shanti, Mataji. Welcome. Arey bhai, it was so nice to see you both. Please come. Bye. So we have Sanchit Bhai and his parents are here too. Welcome. Sarita Ben, welcome. And Bhaiji का शुभ नाम क्या था फिर से संचित? राजेश भाई. अच्छा. राजेश भाई जी. आप ऊपर बैठ सकते हैं? Sit on the chair. Yeah. Right. Welcome. Right. So it's important to realize that along with focus, the other power that we need is, what is the last line in this quote? Ignore the noise. Because there'll be a lot of noises, but I have to learn to ignore the noise. So that's what in meditation, a very important power is, the power to ignore, isn't it? Because all the noise, because the mind creates a lot of noise, right? I have to learn how to ignore it. Only then my thoughts can focus on God, right? Otherwise, the mind will be distracted, right? So we'll try and go a little bit deeper into it. So this whole aspect of, we say, ignoring, right? Ignoring. So this is a famous quote by Albert Einstein. He says, weak people revenge, strong people forgive, intelligent people ignore, right? And so whatever is happening, right, in the mind, I need to learn how to ignore, right? Ignore. So what is the power to ignore, or the art of ignoring, which really means the art of ignoring does not suggest turning a blind eye to the world or neglecting responsibilities. Instead, it emphasizes the intentional choice to focus our attention on the essential while purposefully disregarding irrelevant or negative stimuli. It requires developing a keen sense of discernment to differentiate between what deserves our attention and what does not, right? What deserves our attention and what does not, right? So, when we are driving, we have to reach our destination. There'll be many exits. Suppose I have to take exit 108, right? And there's so many exits, 90, 94, 98, whatever. Where will my attention be? 108. Other exits, I won't even pay attention. And so this is the art of ignoring. And this is very natural for us too, right? Like even right now, there's so many things, right, happening. But our attention is only on that which is important. And so that's what we need to develop, this art of ignoring in order to focus, concentrate better. So let's watch a little clip to understand this aspect a little bit better.
Oh no! It's too deep.
They'll never make it.
No, never. The rain. Uh-oh. No! The rain will fill the hole, and then they can swim out. Ah. Stop jumping! We have a plan!
Stop! We're going to wait for the rain to fill the hole. Why aren't you listening to them?
You'll never make it! It's too high! You can't do it! It's too deep!
Listen to him! Save your strength!
Don't even try. Just stay down.
Thank you for encouraging me.
Encouraging him? He's deaf.
Oh.
Come on! You can make it! Yeah! You can do it! Yeah!
Who will translate this in Hindi? Sanchit bhai karenge? You want to translate this in Hindi?
ओम शांति। बहुत सारे फ्रॉग्स जंगल में भाग रहे होते हैं और बीच में एक गड्ढा होता है, तो सारे फ्रॉग उससे कूद जाते हैं, पर एक फ्रॉग जो थोड़ा डिफरेंट ट्राई कर रहा होता है, पीछे से दूसरा फ्रॉग आता है उसी रास्ते पे और वो दोनों गलती से गड्ढे के अंदर गिर जाते हैं। अब वो फ्रॉग को बाहर निकलना है क्योंकि गड्ढा बहुत अंदर है, नहीं तो वो फंसे रह जाएंगे। तो वो कूदने की ट्राई करते हैं और इतने में और बहुत सारे फ्रॉग जो पास कर रहे होते हैं वो वहां आके उनको देखना शुरू करते हैं और थोड़ा उनको प्लान बताते हैं कि बाहर निकलने के लिए कैसे, उस सब बात करते हैं एक दूसरे की कि अब तो वो कैसे बाहर निकलें। कई कहते हैं कि बाहर नहीं निकल पाएंगे, कई कहते हैं निकल सकते हैं। और इतने में बारिश शुरू हो जाती है। तो अम, थोड़े से फ्रॉग बोलते हैं कि वो कूद के बाहर निकल सकते हैं, बट डिस्टेंस इतना है कि नहीं निकल पाते। उतने में ही एक फ्रॉग बोलता है कि बारिश हो रही है, तो जैसे ही गड्ढे में पानी भरेगा तो वो फ्रॉग अपने आप ऊपर आके उसे जंप कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि फ्रॉग की ये नेचुरल नेचर कि वो पानी के ऊपर तैर सकते हैं। और वो लोग जो दोनों फ्रॉग फंसे हुए हैं उनको बताने की कोशिश करते हैं, बट क्योंकि वो दोनों फ्रॉग इतने ज़्यादा डिस्टर्ब होते हैं कि वो सुन नहीं पाते हैं और ट्राई करते रहते हैं बाहर निकलने का, लेकिन नहीं होता। इतने में ही एक फ्रॉग में एनर्जी आती है और वो उस गड्ढे से बाहर निकल के कूद जाता है। और वो फ्रॉग उनको उस सारे फ्रॉग्स को बोलता है कि थैंक यू, आपने हमें इतना इंकरेज करा कि मैं कूद कूद पाया। और तो वो सारे फ्रॉग जो बाहर थे वो सोचते हैं हम तो बोल रहे थे कि नीचे ही रुको, पानी बारिश हो रही है और आप अपने आप पानी के बहाव से ऊपर आ सकते हो जब पानी में गड्ढा बढ़ जाएगा। तो इतने में एक फ्रॉग ये भी बोलता है कि ही इज डेड, ये। और वो जाके फिर वो वापस जाके जो एक फ्रॉग पीछे अभी भी गड्ढे में रह जाता है उसको फिर एंकरेज करते हैं कि कूदो कूदो कूदो, बल्कि वो गलत है। तो लेसन वही है कि फोकस भी करा जाए, नॉइस पे नहीं देखा जाए, अपने अंदर से ही जो राइट है, अगर हम काम स्टेट में रहते तो हमें आंसर्स मिल सकते हैं। और दूसरे का भी जो अ, 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 वो परमात्मा का हो सकता है या फिर वो हमारे साथियों का हो सकता है, वो अगर हम पीसफुल स्टेट ऑफ माइंड से सुनते हैं तो हो सकता है। थैंक यू।
Thank you. So what was the speciality of the frog that he was? Yeah, he couldn't hear, right? And because he was deaf, he couldn't hear. So what is how to enhance our quality of meditation is to become deaf, right? सुनना नहीं है, right? तो किसका नहीं सुनना है? मन का नहीं सुनना है, right? The mind will keep on talking, right? When we sit in silence in meditation, what happens? The mind will start talking. The mind will take us into past, into future, into our mistakes, what could have happened, what didn't happen, and all expectations. So that's what the mind will start talking, right? And that's when I have to just become deaf. And when I do that, then automatically I can really focus. And because actually the first time he couldn't jump properly, but when he actually, gave it much thought and focus, attention, eventually he was able to get out. And so that's what happens. The mind will say, oh, you cannot do it. Oh, this is not easy. Oh, who has become soul conscious? Oh, it's not easy. That's what the mind will say. But that time I have to become deaf. Right? I don't have to listen to the mind. Right? A famous person said, his name is Rumi. He's a very famous scholar. He says the art of knowing is knowing what to ignore. The art of knowing is knowing what to ignore. And that's where comes the power of discernment. Right? So once I've ignored all that is, irrelevant, then I can actually focus. Right? So let's look at a very nice image and let's see what we learn from it. It says, life is beautiful when you know what to ignore. And so there is a cracked wall and there is some whatever you call a mesh or whatever, a cracked, like, and there are two painters, and the painter on the left, what is he painting? Just that, just that, that whatever you call the web. Or, and on the right, what is he painting?
The ocean and the...
Yeah. So what is actually beyond that? Right. So he can actually see what is beyond the broken wall. And on the left, he can only see the broken wall. Right? So life is beautiful when you know what to ignore. So I know, okay, I may have imperfections. There may be some things that are not happening right in the life right now, but I can look beyond it, right? I can look beyond it to the future, right? The reality of the self, that we are all souls, that we all live in our home of light, that we all belong to the divine, we have all come from there. That is the reality that I can see even beyond the cracked window, right? So that is when I actually can ignore. Right? And then, so that's what it meant, right? Ignoring doesn't mean I don't, fulfill my responsibilities. But even whilst looking at the imperfections, my attention is on that which is beyond, the world beyond. Right? And so if you look, right, ignore, what do we ignore? Ignore the mistakes. Sometimes our mind will go into the mistakes that I've made in the past. It says you make mistakes, but mistakes don't make you. You make mistakes, but mistakes don't make you. I'm not made by my mistakes. Right? Okay, I may have made mistakes. Right? What else we ignore? Ignore the past. The past is a place to learn from, not to live in. Right? Past to learn from, not to live in. So I ignore the past. Okay, if my mind goes, I'll tell, okay, what can I learn from here? Is there something I can learn? If yes, okay, let me learn. But it's not a place to live in and relive those memories and emotions. What else I'll ignore? Ignore the waste, right? To move unwanted thoughts to the spam folder inside your mind. Do we all have a spam folder inside the mind? Yeah? If not, we can all create it, right? And whatever is irrelevant, junk emails, we can easily, move to the spam folder, right? So ignore the waste. What else we ignore? We say ignore inner commentary. Many times there will be inner commentary about whatever is happening. So it says be a spectator, not a commentator. Spectator means one who just observes, an audience, like an audience. So whenever the mind is saying something, just be an audience, not a commentator. Not a comment. Achha. So let's watch another story to understand this even further. Okay.
Once upon a time, a student monk went to his master and said, "Master, I can't live in this temple anymore. I want to leave this place and go to a peaceful and quiet monastery." The master monk asked why. "What's wrong with this temple? Tell me. What happened?" So the student monk said, "You see, master, everyone in this temple is toxic to me. There are so many monks who are just too much into politics. And there are some other monks who always talk negative stuff about me and about you and others. And there are some who spend their whole day just doing nothing, but just gossiping. I don't think that I can practice my spiritual life in this temple. Please, let me go to a peaceful and quiet monastery where there are no toxic people around me. The master monk listened attentively to his student and said, "Okay, student, I will let you go. But before going, you have to do me a favor. One last favor." And the student said, "Of course, master, everything. Just tell me what I should do for you." So the master monk took a spoonful of water and gave it to the student monk. And he told him that he must carry this spoonful of water around the monastery and bring it back to him without dropping a single drop of water. The master monk added, "If you can do that, I will let you go to a peaceful monastery." Eager to complete this task so he could go to a peaceful monastery, the student monk took the spoonful of water and carried it around the monastery, fully focused and without spilling a single drop from it. So after a few hours, the student monk came back to the master with a happy face and said, Master, I did it. I carried this spoonful of water all around the monastery without spilling a single drop from it. So now please keep your promise and let me go to a peaceful monastery." The master monk smiled and said, "Okay, my student. As promised, you are free to go. But before you go, just tell me one thing. While you were carrying the spoonful of water around the monastery, did you hear any of the monks talking about politics? Did you hear any of the monks gossiping about you, me, and other people? Did you hear any of the monks talking negative stuff?" And the student monk replied, he said, "No, master, I was fully focused on the spoon, and I didn't have any time to listen to all those noises." Just then the master monk said, "See, my student, if you are fully focused on your goal, and if you are fully focused on your purpose, you don't have time to listen to all those other negative noises around you. Remember, wherever you go in this world, you will meet negative people around you. But if you are fully focused on your goal and on your larger purpose, all the other negative people and all the other negative words that you hear are nothing but just noises." You see, in life, in your life, no matter where you are and where you go, the more you focus on other people's behaviors, other people's words, other people's lives, you will always meet toxic people. You will always feel coming off your true path, your true goal. Just be focused on yourself. That doesn't mean that you should be selfish, but be focused on your goal, on your path, on your way. And all those negative people, all this chit-chat will just become a noise around you. So don't fear of listening to yourself and concentrating on your own life, and ignore negative people around you. Also, these negative people have a good side to them, which maybe you just can't see or can't hear. And if you think of running away, then just remember, wherever you run to, there are bad people, and there are people who talk bad about you. And you always come across people that you don't like. If you're happy in one place, you will be happy everywhere. If you're unhappy in one place, there's not a place in the world which can make you happy. Focus on your life, on yourself. This is Dare to Do Motivation Stories. Thank you so
Right. So this monk wanted to go away because he was meeting a lot of other people who were not, talking good about them. But then the master, he gave him the task. उन्होंने कहा कि चम्मच में पानी लेके जाओ, गिरना नहीं चाहिए. फिर पूछा कि आपको कुछ लगा? He said no. So in the same way, it's like, sometimes we can feel that there is so much noise, there is so much drama in my life. How can I really focus on God? Where can I, because there's so many things happening, right? That's what it says. If I can just focus on myself and God. That's it, nothing else. Then I won't even have time to listen to anything else. And it will just feel like a noise, right? Which I can easily then let go, move on. And then again, it's just a passing cloud. And I don't have to give any importance to it. Does it make sense?
Like that book from
हाँ
ये किसी का नहीं सुना
हाँ किसी का नहीं सुना. Didn't hear anything. And like he said, just focus on yourself, your life. And many times what we do is, right, we zoom in to others' life. And in meditation, what we really are doing is we zoom out from others' lives and zoom in your own. And also every day, if we look at Murli, what is happening there? Baba is allowing us to zoom out from everything else. Whatever happened yesterday, today, okay, forget. Zoom into your life, who you are, where have you come from, what is this time, what do you have to do, right? So it's actually training the mind to zoom into the self. So it really allows us not to then focus on anything else. Right? Right. And that's what this simplification, that's also, that's what introversion as well. Introversion is I'm actually zoomed into just my own self. Right? Say simplicity boils down to 2 steps. So simplicity, a simple mind. Identify the essential, eliminate the rest. If we look at a small child is actually fully focused in the moment. If he's looking at something, he's looking at that thing, isn't it? Okay, when his attention goes, then he's looking at something, he's looking at something. A small child doesn't know how to, is very focused, right? Because his mind is very simple. And that's why children learn so fast. Like even when we were young, like for the first 7 or 8 or 10 years, our learning curve was so fast. We learned so many languages, we learned how to walk, how to talk, right? So many things we learned. But after that, the learning curve actually, slows down, it hits a plateau. And after a certain age, we don't learn, right? Why? Because our mind becomes complicated. We start to think so much. Then our attention is focus. And that's why we can learn. That's why in meditation as well, when we say after a certain number of years, when we came to meditation, for the first few years, we learned so much. But after some time, we'll say, oh, we have hit a plateau. We're not learning as much as we used to before. Why? Because our attention is not on meditation, on the basics. It is easy for the attention to divert to other things, what others are doing, what others are happening, because all that is noise, right? And that's why concentrating on God becomes difficult. Right? And these days we have phone also, right? So phone is also distraction, isn't it? And we may be looking at videos about meditation, but we may not be meditating. We may be looking at so many other things in order to learn, but we may not be actually doing it, right? And so it's important to realize how to avoid distractions. And again, it's not the external stimuli. It's not just about the medium. It's about my inner state of mind. Right? Does it make sense? Right. So if we see what happens if we just learn, and it's very easy, we just learn how to ignore the drama, ignore the story, and learn to fix our thoughts on God. And so what happens is, when you fix your thoughts on God, then what is the next line? God fixes your thoughts. है ना? हम अपने विचार परमात्मा पर लगाते हैं, है ना? फिक्स करते हैं तो परमात्मा हमारे विचारों को ठीक कर देते हैं, फिक्स कर देते हैं, है ना? Right? God fixes our thoughts. So we don't need to do a lot to fix our thoughts. Right? It automatically, God does it. Right? Right. And, you know, on this journey of meditation, on this journey with the divine, it's also very important to just be in the moment and not be, you know, extremely ambitious also. Right? Sometimes, you know, trying too hard is also not the right way. So let's watch another little story to understand, you know, how it's important to be very natural in this journey of meditation, right?
Once upon a time, there lived a young boy named Koji. Koji was always curious about the world around him and sought answers to life's big questions. One day, he heard about the wise Zen master who lived atop the tallest hill in the village. Determined to learn from the master, Koji climbed up the hill and found the Zen temple where the master resided. With eager eyes and a hopeful heart, Koji approached the master and asked, "Master, how can I find Zen?" The master, a gentle old man with a twinkle in his eye, smiled at Koji's enthusiasm. 10 years, he replied calmly. Koji's determination only grew stronger. "But what if I work even harder, master? How soon can I find Zen then?" The master paused for a moment before answering, 20 years. Confused but undeterred, Koji persisted, "Master, what if I devote myself entirely to the practice? How long would it take then?" With a wise nod, the master replied, 30 years. Koji's spirit sank, and he couldn't help but express his confusion. "Master, I don't understand. The more I promise to work hard, the longer it seems to take. Why is that?" The master looked at Koji with a serene smile. "When you have one eye fixed on the goal, you have only one eye on your path," he explained gently. Koji pondered the master's words for a moment, realizing the wisdom hidden within them. He understood that focusing solely on the end result wouldn't lead him to true understanding. Instead, he needed to embrace the journey itself, with all its ups and downs. Imagine you're climbing a big, tall tree. Your goal is to reach the top to grab the ripe, juicy fruit waiting there. But here's the thing, if you keep looking up at the fruit and thinking about how delicious it will taste when you finally get it, you might lose your balance and fall. Instead, focus on each step you take as you climb. Pay attention to where you place your hands and feet, feel the rough bark under your fingers, and breathe in the fresh air around you. Enjoy the process of climbing, knowing that with every step you're getting closer to your goal. In life, it's like climbing that tree. If you focus too much on the reward at the end, you might miss out on the journey itself. So whether you're learning something new, practicing a skill, or working towards a goal, remember to focus on the effort you put in along the way. Enjoy the process, learn from it, and celebrate every step forward you take. Because sometimes the true reward lies in the effort itself.
And it says that it's important to enjoy, right? And so concentration happens automatically when my focus is on just learning and enjoying, right? And that's what, story said, that this kid is very excited to learn meditation. And he said, "I'll try very, very hard." Initially said, how much time? Said 10 years. If I try harder, 20 years. If I try more harder, 30 years. Right? Because he said it's all about just learning, being available, present in this moment, right? And again, it's like, there is one, so there are two ingredients to it, right? One is this deep knowing that this is my aim. It's important to realize what my aim is. But then the other is to just keep attention in the moment, what I have to. And in our spiritual life, it is very easy. What are the two main ingredients that we have to pay attention on? Is on considering the self as a soul, right? And the second is to remember the divine God. And so in whatever I'm doing, right? So if I'm just gently aware of this, I am a soul, and I am with God, that's it. And so that allows for the experience concentration to happen naturally. Does it make sense? Yes, Naresh Bhai wants to say something.
शांति, इसमें एक छोटी सी मतलब पुराणों की कथा याद आ गई है
जी।
एक बार एक भक्त था, वो तपस्या कर रहा था, याद कर रहा था भगवान को कि भगवान मिल जाए, भगवान मिल जाए। तो नारद जी आ गए उसके सामने। तो नारद जी ने, तुम क्या कर रहे हैं, तुम क्या चाहिए? बोला, जब भगवान के दर्शन चाहिए, इसके लिए मैं पूजा कर रहा हूँ, तपस्या कर रहा हूँ। बोले कि करते रहे, कुछ नहीं होने वाला है। भगवान ने कहा 100 साल तक मैं नहीं मिलूंगा तेरे। बोला, है 100 साल बाद मिलेंगे? वो नाचना शुरू कर दिया, डांस करना शुरू कर दिया कि मिलेंगे तो जरूर, भले 100 साल बाद मिले। और करते करते वो, और जैसे वो नाचना शुरू किया, भगवान प्रकट हो गए उसके सामने। तो नारद जी बोले, आपने तो कहा था मैं 100 साल बाद मिलूंगा इसको, और अब तो इतनी जल्दी आ गए। बोले, इसने अपने आप को बुला दिया और मेरे में रम गया, इसलिए मैं आ गया।
इसीलिए nice. Right.
मतलब कहने का मतलब हम फोकस हो जाए हैं अपने लक्ष्य में, चाहे कितना भी नॉइज हो, कितनी भी नेगेटिविटी हो, आप फोकस हैं तो मंजिल तक जरूर पहुंचेंगे।
Right.
रहना ही सिर्फ प्रेजेंट का है,
प्रेजेंट का है,
ना पास्ट में रह सकते हैं, ना फ्यूचर में रह सकते हैं। और आज का ये पल ही है, अगले पल का नहीं पता, पीछे वाला बीत चुका। आज के ही पल में जियोगे तो अपने आप में फोकस भी हो जाएगा, अपने आप में ये भी महसूस हो जाएगा व्हाट टू लेट ऑफ। When you learn that what to let off, you will automatically learn what to be concentrated or what to be focused upon.
Right.
What to be focused upon. So the essence and the one thing is very, that is live only and only in today's aspect. It will get you reminded of the God. It will remind you as the soul. It will remind you each and everything. Only you, when you are focused and you are living in the present.
In the present.
The only problem is that we are living in the, we do not know what to ignore. Sometime I have spotted in my life that a physically fit person is inferior in comparison to a person who is handicapped. I try to understand why it is so. Then one day I asked a particular person who was physically handicapped. He told me that I am physically handicapped. I know each and every person is showing the pity upon me. But what I do, I ignore all those. And I focused on my strength. That's why a physically fit person is inferior in all whatsoever the field, a particular field you can take, in comparison to a physically handicapped person. Because he knows what to ignore.
Thank you. Nice. हाँ, yes.
प्रेजेंट में अगर हम जीते हैं, प्रेजेंट मेरा अच्छा है, तो पास्ट भी गुड होगा एंड फ्यूचर भी अच्छा होगा. अटेंशन मेरे गुड कर्मा, तो पास्ट भी अच्छा है तो फ्यूचर भी अच्छा है. तो वी अटेंशन इज प्रेजेंटेशन प्रेजेंट.
एक शांति, आपने रविंद्र जैन का नाम सुना होगा.
किसका?
रविंद्र जैन, फेमस म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर.
He was blind, right?
He was
Yes.
blind. But he made so many beautiful songs.
एक जब मैं छोटा था तो देखता था वहां पर एक मतलब उसको मतलब आंखें खराब हो गई. तो कैसे कोई अर्निंग का कोई साधन नहीं है, तो उसने कुर्सियां बुनना शुरू किया. पहले कुर्सी होती ना जो
chairs, he used to make chairs.
जो क्या बोलते हैं उसको, जो बुनते हैं ना उसे, जो बैत होती है वो बुनना शुरू. और उससे उतना मतलब अंधा होते हुए भी इतना अच्छा बुनता था. जब उसके पास आते थे कुर्सियां बुनवाते थे और उसने अपना पूरा परिवार का पेट.
Yeah. So even he was blind, he could actually make a chair.
जब उसमें चेयर होते हैं सर,
because of his power of concentration. Nice, great. Yes, true. Sure. So great. We'll just end with this one last slide. Right. So on the left, what is there on the left? Who is on the left? Huh? Small kid. And who is that small kid? Yeah, that's the soul, right? That's the soul. And what is on the right? And what is that object? Huh? So everything that is happening in the world is happening in that box, right? And who is in the middle? Is the supreme divine. It says, ignore the story, focus on the truth. What it is, right? Just whatever happens inside the box, it's all a story, right? It's just repeating itself. It's like a movie. So ignore completely everything and just focus on the truth. Only the one. इसलिए कहते Satyam Shivam Sundaram, right? Just focus on the one. And then everything just works out. Right? Om Shanti. Thank you. अच्छा, we'll also
मिले जुले शब्द हैं भ्रम
Brahm.
और ब्रह्म.
Brahm. Brahm is illusion.
बहुत जबरदस्त मिले जुले हैं. उसी में आप भ्रम में पढ़ सकते हो, उसी में
Brahm is
प्राप्ति में आते हैं.
correct. The eternal truth is Brahm. And Brahm, very nice. Cha, any thoughts from Zoom? Anyone would like to share on today's topic?
सही भ्रम है और वो भ्रम है, भ्रम में देखना है.
Right. Nice. Cha, anyone wants to share any thoughts? Feel free to.
Very nice session as usual.
Cha, any thoughts from here? Anyone wants to share? Any other final thoughts?
Look inside, not outside.
Look inside, not outside.
They know the story and focus the truth. So truth, I am a soul, not a body.
I am a soul,
Truth is,
not a
my
body.
father is supreme soul, not outside. So, जैसे भाई जी ने कहा, not Brahm, but is Brahm is real. So concentration only Brahm, soul and supreme soul, inner story. So we get up on लक्ष्य. हम अपने लक्ष्य को प्राप्त कर लेंगे. पर कई बार बाबा कहते हैं कि बच्चों को रियलाइजेशन नहीं होता कि हमें चाहिए क्या. हमारे लक्ष्य को हम निर्धारित नहीं कर पाते. तो अगर ये सत्य है कि हाँ मैं आत्मा हूँ, मुझे आत्मा का पिता परमात्मा है, ये मुझे पहचान हो गई है, पहचान है, तो हम उस सत्य में टिकते हैं और सत्य में टिकते हैं और सत्य से मेरा रूबरू होती है. तो सत्य ही सत्य है. वी लिव इन प्रेजेंट. तो पास्ट भी गुड एंड फ्यूचर भी.
अच्छा, सरिता बहन आप कुछ बोलेंगे? शेयर समथिंग।
ओम शांति। वही सत्य से जुड़कर ही प्रेजेंट और पास्ट फ्यूचर सब पता चलता है। सत्य ही प्रेजेंट है। जितना हम सत्य से जुड़ते जाते हैं, जितना हमारा उससे लिंक, हमारी बातचीत होती है, वही प्रेजेंट और वही फ्यूचर है। ओम शांति।
शांति। थैंक यू। अच्छा, शेयर सम थॉट्स।
Om Shanti. The key takeaway points for today for this logic so will be, let's stay focused and ignore the noise, because drama will always have noise and we have to be part of the story. And weak people always take revenge, which I completely agree with because sometimes our ego comes in place and we go into that. I really love the quote that intelligent people ignore, as in we need to ignore all the noise and maybe taking revenge and all those stuff, and just focus within ourselves and stay connected to the Supreme Soul. And zoom out and from the other from the drama and zoom in on your own. That's my last key takeaway from today's session. An amazing, beautiful session again for this session. Thank you, Supreme Soul. Thank you, Swarmani and family.
नीरज भाई आप कुछ बोलेंगे?
So sorry, I'm so sorry, I missed it. Today's session I was late, but I got something I learned that we need to focus on the present and ignore the past, what has happened, and live on the current life, whatever you are doing. So you can focus on your karma. Don't think about the future. Otherwise, you will plan more things. So you will be dilute in that future things. So just live in the present, do what is right. It will be always okay. And just zoom out. Sanjit Bhai told us. So that is a good theory I like. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Again, welcome to Rajesh Bhai and Sarita Ben. Sanjit Bhai's parents are here. So we are so happy to have you both. And अभी तो रुकेंगे ना?
ऐसा है, घटता है, घटने का मतलब रिड्यूसिंग नहीं. It happened. But in case you keep fearing, you keep on thinking, you keep कि ऐसा ना हो जाए, तो आपकी एनर्जी वहीं पे सारी डिप्लीट हो जाती है, खत्म हो जाती है. जिसने होना है वो होगा. दुनिया की कोई ताकत नहीं रोक सकती उसे. ये एक वास्तविकता है. So the true essence, essential, whatsoever, which I am concerned, focus हो, ये हो, सारी बातें मानता हूँ. But the essence is, this is my breath. With this breath, I am through this body. I can feel, I can focus. But in case there is no breath, each and everything will go. So the most important essence to achieve focus and to keep on remembrance of the God or the one person, Parampita. That is, you should always remind that God, that particular God has given me this, this breath.
Breath.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for your time. Om Shanti. Have a nice rest of the evening.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you.